What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Watch and Cut channel. So tonight we've got a really awesome knife to talk about. Now this one is brought to you by Troy the Bad Monkey and myself. We're going to do a full tabletop review of the 229 Rendicion. This is a show special, so this one's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be the first one I've ever reviewed on the channel.
Scientific study that says that people who are late are likely to live longer and be more successful.
Although I have handled the standard ones before, but I've never actually checked out one of these. So this will be the first one on the channel. So thanks, Troy. Really big shout out to you and big thanks to you. Go check out Troy, the Bad Monkey, on Instagram. And I just got to say, he's just a warm and friendly guy to the whole knife community. So long-time follower of my channel.
Mai più mano armata si alzerà su di te senza rispondere. Alzati. Usalo con giustizia e correttezza.
So finally got around to sending me some of his stuff, and let me tell you guys, this guy's got good taste, and this tonight is going to be one of those really cool pieces. So you guys know I'm a sucker for exclusives, and yes, this is an exclusive. I believe this is a Bladeshow 2022 exclusive or something like that, but exclusive nonetheless, and that's all that matters. So here's what we got inside the box. We got this beautiful folding knife from Chavez. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Ramon Chavez, he's a US-based custom knife maker, and he's really well known for the Rendicion model. Chavez Knives is very well known, and his customs are very sought after. And they go for quite a bit of money. They were maybe a little bit easier to acquire back in the days. I have been following this guy since his customs used to cost about $650. That is a very, very long time ago. Customs are going to be a lot more now. They're going to be older knives because I don't even know if he's making very many of them anymore. I think he's focusing a lot of his efforts on these because these get out to people a lot easier than, you know, the labor rates and material rates of manufacturing customs in the US. I'm sure he's still making customs because he's a custom knife maker, but probably not very many. And I'm sure you're going to have to look very hard to try to get a brand new one from him. So this one's kind of cool because I remember back in the day, you got one of these with this crazy clip, right? And that's kind of the signature with Ramon Chavez, but this production version actually comes with the mild-mannered, or as I'd like to call it, the neutered clip. So you could put that on if you don't want to stare at that skull. Now, looking at this, I'm not sure the color matches very well, but I believe this is the original color of it. It was definitely a lot more bronze. And I guarantee you, if I spray this bad boy down with Windex, that is exactly what's going to come out. But, you know, this knife has some beautiful finger oils and patinaing going on, and I am not going to ruin a good thing. So we're going to leave it at that. You can see the back spacer a little bit more untouched, is retaining that nice bronze. And the side of the clip. Very nice knife. So I actually have kind of always wanted the custom one of these, and he teamed up with Reate to produce these. And these are cool because they come at a much more affordable price. He's keeping the variety with a lot of exclusives from different shops, exclusives from him, just all kinds of different knives in general. So there is a lot of variety to these. I know these also can be found at Phonetic Edge, and he pimps them out. He mills the handles. So you can really get them really like fancy. I even saw a guy with full Timascus inserts a while back in one. And these are, again, produced by Reate overseas, but Reate is just really on fire when it comes to overseas production. As a matter of fact, I still think that they are the absolute best at it. And the one thing that I really love about Reate is that they keep fairly true to the custom. Like, they really like nail down their hollow grinds, their blade grinds. Like, there's not really any very noticeable variance from this to the American custom. Now, even if there's size variances or things like that, maybe this is like a slightly scaled down version, but it's still just very Ramon Chavez, and it just looks and feels that way. The only things that don't, perhaps, is like the hardware, you know, that's very Reate. But man, you can get one of Ramon's knives for, you know, a fraction of the price. Another thing that I think is really cool is the way that the M390 is in there. It's actually kind of engraved. It's not really like a dark etched. So it actually shines at different angles. And it kind of looks like handwriting. It's not like, you know, like scripted, you know, Romans, New Romans times or anything. I don't know what to call that. And you can see the lasering on this side too. This is really nicely done with Ramon's signature right here. You got a thumb stud deployment style blade. As I'd mentioned, this is M390, a very, very healthy sharpening choil. This is a chisel grind. Now, this may be very polarizing to some because you just got a very unsculpted blade on this side, just a very flat profile, and then you got this very beautiful shaping on this side. I kind of had to get used to this concept when I first learned about it as well. I like it because it is thinner behind the edge. It's basically half of a V grind, so it's a thinner cutting edge. It's easier to sharpen, believe it or not. I know some people are going to argue with me on that one, but no matter what you say, that's been kind of my experience. It's just a very user-friendly style grind for a blade. So this knife not only is kind of cool because it's a little bit different and unique, but it's a bit of a better cutter as well than the regular one. So there's that. M390 blade steel. Blade length is 3.6 inches. Blade thickness is a much more reasonable 0.16. Again, you know, half of the grind. Otherwise, you know, you would expect a much thicker blade stock. The actual cutting edge, though, is 3.3 inches, just like the Jesse James I reviewed last time. The handle length is 4.6 inches, which is a good sweet spot for most. It's very neutral. It does have some shaping, but overall, it's just a neutral handle blade design. It's going to fit many hands that way, so I do like that. But you do feel like some of the retention just from the shaping on the bottom. So I think this is very nicely executed and very well done. 0.55 inches thick, which is not too bad at all. I mean, this is, you know, again, kind of designed to be slightly of a bit of an overbuilt knife. As far as the action, of course, Reate, you're going to get bearings with probably, I think those look like bronze races on there. Yeah, you can see the bronze washer. So these are ball bearing style. I think the detent is ceramic. I don't know if these are ceramic bearings or steel. I don't think that matters all that much. This thing really like fires like a cannon. Very nice sound. Hey, you could Spidey flick it, but the detent's pretty firm on this guy.
That's what she said. No.
So it might, it's a little bit of a finger breaker for a Spidey flick. Very easy to disengage. Look at that action, guys. You guys like knives with really good like drop shut actions. Yeah, this thing it's good to go. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. Another cool thing I really liked about it, you look back here, it's got the stop pin's right in there, but when the knife is deployed, it's really well hidden. Just a little, nice little detail. The jimping is aggressive. Your meat from your thumb is definitely going to dig in there. That's going to give you great traction. It's going to work better than average. I think this is more designed for like gloves, this kind of jimping. It's fairly aggressive, and it's not what I would consider sharp edges, but it grabs. So be aware of that. Nice little, flat back spacer. It's all nicely contoured. This is actually rounded and very nicely shaped and contoured, so I like that. No sharp edges on the clip. Now, despite the way the clip looks, as far as this like big thick area here, it slides in and out of the pocket really well. It doesn't really interrupt with the lock bar tension at all. Doesn't get in the way because it rests more on the top side here. Cool screws. I don't know, hidden hardware is what you'll find on the custom, so I think that's kind of better. Or maybe perhaps do 2 screws that go all the way through. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of screws.
That's what she said.
It's still a freaking badass knife. Does it have an over travel stop? Yes, it does. So we have an over travel stop here. And then there's your stainless steel insert. And that does, actually this thing does have a ceramic detent in it. Look at that. So there you have it. Man, I'm never prepared with a flashlight, guys. That is amazing that I even had that there. So there you go. This is a knife I would definitely own. And when I review these knives, I kind of want to look at them in 2 different ways, because there's 2 different kind of knife buyers out there. The first one's going to be that type of knife buyer that is going to buy one knife and he's going to beat it up and he's going to use it and love it and maybe pass it down if it holds together. And can it do that? Absolutely. Is it going to do that well? Is this going to be a knife that, can somebody be one and done with a knife like this? For a guy that's maybe not a collector, maybe somebody looking for just a nice robust tool that's slightly fun to brag with when you bring it out at work, right? Let's say you cut a lot of boxes, things like that. For that, this is a perfect candidate, especially with a skull clip. Sometimes these types of knives can really scare people because, believe it or not, to you and me, this is probably something a little bit smaller, a little bit cute and mild. To others, this might look like an axe murderer weapon. So, you know, you always got to keep that in mind when you flick these things out in public, and, you know, how people might pursue that. Now, you may not care, and I usually don't, but depending on where I'm at or who I'm with, that's something I always keep in mind, especially at work. So although my co-workers are most of them are knife collectors like me now, I got so many people into this hobby. It's great. I love to spread the love. The Acuminous Edge, another big collector that works with me. I mean, we're just spreading around, so it's great. So the goods, the materials chosen are really great quality. We've got a full titanium frame lock. This is a nice, robust tool, and it's going to last somebody quite a while. It's a fantastic steel to go with. I know it's common. Everybody's kind of burnt out. Oh God, it's M390 again. But honestly, guys, there's a reason why a lot of people use it, because it is really good. So we got great steel, very stainless. Still, what I would argue, one of the better steels out there. The fact that it's a chisel grind, it's got a thinner cutting edge above average V grinds, so that's kind of a nice feature on it. It's a true reproduction of the custom, and that's very, very important to me. And the execution, well, Reate just nailed it, so that I really like. The knife itself feels really substantial in the hand. That may be a not so great thing for some people. For me, I love it. It feels like a tool I can just beat on and trust, and maybe even put it through a car door. I always wanted to do that. I do like a lightweight knife, don't get me wrong, but I can really also appreciate something that feels trustworthy and substantial. And those are the kind of knives and tools that I think are easily to hand down to our kids later, or to our nephew, or so on, or even a good friend. Something that will last the test of time. So let's conclude my thoughts on this knife. First of all, it's exclusive. You guys know that I am a sucker for exclusive stuff, and it says it on the blade, so there you go.
I love gold!
I like exclusive stuff because it tends to retain its value better, and there's always something really different or unique about it.
The look of it, the taste of it, the smell of it, the texture.
Like this one having this really cool chisel grind and being a full titanium construction. So there's usually one or two or more features that just makes it a little bit different than the average bunch. And sometimes these exclusives come out and they're gone. So I kind of like to jump on these things. So I like the whole exclusive thing. I know some people debate on that one, but that's just my view on it. The knife is really sharp out of the box. M390 is going to be a good steel with half of a V grind. This should be fairly easy to resharpen, even though it's M390. Steel lock bar insert, over travel stop. This thing is completely dummy proof. Rock solid lock bar on there. Nice relief cut, but not overdone. Big beefy clip. You're not gonna bend and break that off. Yeah, great knife, guys. I highly recommend these. So anyways, that's gonna do it for tonight. Hope you guys like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave comments down below. What do you guys think of this really interesting knife? Anyways, we'll see you guys all on the next one. This is the Watch and Cut channel. Out.